The reason I'm in this position is the power, the energy that threw me back.
Hold up.
Okay, great.
I didn't type my.
Still waiting. I've been waiting, by the way, people, for 18 minutes for this guy to start.
I'm almost ready. I forgot
Yeah.
my topics.
Oh, okay.
I only have two.
That's fine. Hmm. Okay. Well, maybe we'll just delete those. It's not very good.
All right, I think we're ready.
Okay.
Uh, how's everyone going?
How's everything
That
how is
was like an Austral
everyone going?
that was like an Australian greeting, right? How you going?
How's everyone going?
Uh,
In 8 minutes, I'm gonna have to get up and take my food out of the oven.
oh my gosh, are you kidding me?
So should we just sit here and stare at each other for 8 minutes before we actually start content?
I'm still trying to get something going here. Something's
Just
not
we'll
working. Oh, okay.
people.
I forgot to push the button.
Oh, well, that is a problem. Fast forward, people. Fast forward like 4 minutes if you're listening to this in the future, and then rewound it to the beginning.
We're just setting up some.
We're trying new things out here.
We're going live on YouTube, our YouTube account, and we're also going live on our Instagram account for the first time.
Right now,
We're live. We're
that's
live
live.
on YouTube.
Cool.
Now let me check our Instagram.
Can I drink alcohol on air? Is that out? Is that allowed?
Yeah, I think it's live. I mean, allowed.
I'm not gonna do it. I'm
The
gonna
only,
drink coffee instead.
the only problem is, yeah, I don't think we're live on Instagram for some reason.
That's fine. This is coffee.
Recording stopped.
We're still going on YouTube, but I paused the real deal. So YouTube gets bonus content.
Yeah, we're still live over here.
Okay. We're just waiting for people to join YouTube. That's what we're doing.
Yeah, I don't think this works with Instagram. I think there's too much red tape on Instagram.
Not good. We don't like red tape here.
Hmm, that's too bad.
Too bad.
I'll have to play around with that for next time. But
Okay.
anyway, we got some camera changes.
Recording in progress.
Okay.
You're back live.
We're live again.
We got our camera changes. I just realized I have my live monitor here if I
Hmm.
tune into our YouTube.
How's it going? Again.
It's going good.
Allie is sick, huh?
Yeah. She's she's either got the flu or COVID or both or one or the
Not good.
other.
Mm. Right. Just to get all the combinations. You said it all the times.
All right. I got all the we're good. We can start for real.
Okay.
We're
All
not
right. We're starting.
we're not live on Instagram, but we are live on YouTube. If you ever want to check out a live video, you're going to have to go to YouTube for now. But
Sorry, people.
uh you got a bunch of topics.
I got a few.
You got
I
a
got a few
bunch. I'm looking
topics.
at a bunch.
Yeah, I was on watching a lot of TV, a lot, quote unquote, a lot of TV this week, and sometimes they come to me while I'm watching TV,
Mhm.
this the thing that I'm watching, or it's like something else entirely. Does that ever happen to you? You think about just like something like it's usually something that I was thinking about earlier in the day, then it like resurfaces. Like something in the show will remind me of it. Like they'll say something, and I'm like, oh shit, I dealt with that sometime today. I'm gonna write that down.
Like a real life lesson.
Not a real life lesson, but something I was thinking about that I forgot to write down. You know what I mean? And then I get lucky, and it comes back to the surface. So I'm like, well, I thought about it again today. I should definitely write it down.
Yeah, usually whenever I'm thinking of topics, I'm not in a position where I can write it down.
Right.
And then
You're taking a poop with both hands.
I'm just doing something with both hands. I'm flying by the seat of my pants.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, well, that's like, it's in my brain right now. Of course, that's not going anywhere.
No, there's no way. There's no way my something will delete itself in there. There's
Yeah.
no way.
It's in my memory. It's in my memory bank. It's not,
Memory hole.
I'll just keep it there. And then whenever I get the chance to write it down, I'll take it from my brain and put it on the paper or on my
Yeah.
phone.
Mm-hmm.
And within a second of my comfort of like, yeah, I'm going to remember that, it's gone.
It's gone.
Totally gone.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so what was this thing that you, what was an example of one that you remembered?
Bubblegum flavored toothpaste.
Yeah, yay or nay?
Uh, okay. So this is the discussion. Did you ever have bubblegum flavored toothpaste in your life?
I must have. I feel like it's one of the, it's like kids' toothpaste or something, isn't it?
Here we go. Now we're on to something here. This is what I wanted to talk about. So the last time I think I had, well, I never had bubblegum toothpaste because my parents hated me and they didn't give a shit about any sort of an. I'm just kidding. Um, but I don't think I ever had bubblegum flavored toothpaste. I'm pretty sure the only time I ever experienced bubblegum flavored toothpaste is when the dentist or orthodontist would brush my teeth, or whenever I had to brush my teeth there when I was a kid. Okay, so like you said, it is a child's toothpaste. I think people probably usually only have it when they're a child. I was thinking, what if you go to a girl's house or a guy's house, someone you're dating, right? And maybe you're staying over for the first time, or you're just over there for the first time. You know, you're using the bathroom. And this is a side topic. There are some people, I think there's a split, right? There are some people that when they go and use the restroom, they're going to look in the medicine cabinet, right? They're going to look in the
Oh,
drawers, you know? And then there's the other half, like me, I don't do that, you know? Um, one second. Let's hold on one second. Pause. I'm going to pause.
okay.
Recording stopped.
It's all good. We're live, but it doesn't matter. What's he cooking up? He's got a tiny little oven there but on the counter. I don't think he had that when I was visiting. He's got two casserole dishes pulling out. We're zoomed in here looking at him. Looking at his apartment. I just realized that. Action cam.
Oh my God.
Recording in
All
progress.
right, I'm back. Thank you. I had to take my delicious food out of the oven. It looks amazing.
Yeah, well,
So,
I was checking out that you didn't have that tiny oven whenever we were there, but let's continue with the bubblegum.
so like I said, there's one side of the camp people checking cupboards, all right, checking medicine cabinets. The other side does not do that. So, if you are nosy enough, right, you're gonna check it first time you're there. But you know, if you're like me, maybe you're staying the night. Oh shit! Listen. I forgot my toothpaste. Can I borrow yours for the evening? I brought my toothbrush. Didn't bring toothpaste. And then she or he is like, yeah, sure. There's some in the medicine cabinet there. And then
Oh, so
you open it up, and what do you find? But some Crest bubblegum flavored toothpaste. And this person is an adult. Okay, they pay their own rent. Hopefully, you know what? How I was thinking this should not be. Why does this person have this? They should have adult toothpaste. Unless they're lying to you about having children, which is even more insane, I think. But what would your thoughts be on what would your thoughts be upon seeing that?
If this were a Seinfeld episode, she would be.
Which it is.
It is. This is a Seinfeld.
Which it is. No, no, no. Which it is.
It
This
is.
premise is definitely a Seinfeld episode.
Yeah, it's like she would be the perfect. She would be the perfect woman.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
Had a great time at dinner. You guys
Or man.
laughed.
Or man.
Perfect date. The perfect date.
Yes.
And she makes you laugh. He or she made you laugh all night. She laughed at your jokes. Laughed.
Mm-hmm.
Had a great time talking, connecting on multiple levels. And then you get to her apartment, his or her apartment, and then you see this Crest bubblegum toothpaste.
Yeah.
And the tube is like, it's made for kids, right?
Oh yeah. It's got like it's got the Avengers on the tube or something like that. Something crazy. The lady from Frozen. What's her name?
Anna,
Elsa.
Elsa, Elsa.
Elsa. Yeah.
So going through your mind is immediately, what are the reasons why why would she have this? First one, she has kids.
Yes.
What were some other reasons going through your head?
She likes the taste of it. And then more so she can't stand the taste of like adult toothpaste.
Oh,
So for me, I'm asking immediately. Immediately. Because that's just the kind of abrasive, I guess, personality I have. I have to know immediately. Cuz like in the Seinfeld episode, Jerry or George or Elaine, they will not say anything, right?
until
They're
it's
going to
way
take it
too late. Yeah.
they're going to take it to their friends first, right? They're going to take it to the little clique first, and then they're all going to have opinions, and it's all going to like stew, and then it's all that interference is going to influence whatever they're thinking, right? Me, I'm going straight at this quote unquote problem, and I'm going to ask um why, right? Like why do you have this? Just because I'd be curious. Like it's not a deal breaker for me. I just think it's like, okay, now I'm gonna bring my own toothpaste forever because I cannot brush my teeth with this stuff because I don't like that bubblegum taste as it is.
Yeah, exactly how it would go in the episode is they would bring it back. It's like, that's not a big deal, right? Yeah, it's not a big deal. But they would go on the next date, and
Oh yeah.
it would keep stewing in his head. And then they would be out going to a supermarket or something,
Yep.
and then they would he would inevitably like put it in the shopping cart. He would put
Hmm.
like the adult toothpaste in the shopping cart.
Yeah.
And then they'll be shopping, and then he'll look down at the shopping cart and notice that it had been switched.
Or it had been put back.
Yeah, put back, not in the shopping cart anymore.
There's no toothpaste at all.
And then he grabs it again, puts it in,
Mhm.
and then it's gonna escalate and blow up to this big thing of like, I just don't like this toothpaste. This is my favorite toothpaste. And then he'll push it, push it, push it. Why? And then it'll come out to be this like actually heartfelt or practical reason why she has this specific toothpaste.
It reminds me of It reminds me of the summers that I spent in my grandparents' house in Vermont. It was see my mother and father died when I was very young, so I had to live with a distant aunt and uncle that they of course loved me very much, but my my aunt and uncle weren't close with my parents, but my grandparents were. So every time I would go visit my grandparents, they would just tell me stories of my parents, and you know I would just relive cherished moments with them, And one of the things that I remember about those summers in Vermont was, well, they would just read me bedtime stories, and they would talk to me while I got ready for bed, and one of the things I remember is they would sing me songs while I brushed my teeth, and the toothpaste that I used was Crest bubblegum flavored, and I just really can't come to replace that cherished toothpaste. So um, I'm sorry, but I'm not changing my preference in toothpaste. You take it or leave it.
And then, oh, I see. I was totally wrong and impulsive to judge this woman. Yeah, I'm sorry. I should have been more understanding. And then it's way past that. The mood is killed. The
Or she's
whole
like, "Oh, also I'm a pedophile. Also I'm a pedophile." And then like, "Oh, okay, well you could have led with that."
Yeah. It's like that's the perfect Seinfeld episode. You bottle it in until you think, like, at first you think it's not going to bother you, and then you bottle it up, and then it comes out, makes a big deal out of nothing,
Like everything. If you
like
don't if you don't
everything.
if you don't face it head on, it's just going to fester and eat you from the inside, you know?
So yeah, your reaction, immediate reaction, is to like, hey, what's up with this toothpaste? Why do you have this bubblegum toothpaste? Did you find it on the
Have you
street or something?
have you never used this in 30 years? What is
Yeah.
this here for? Yeah.
And then you can have a little laugh about it.
Mhm. You know what else I would might have a little laugh about or be incredibly cringed about is toe wrestling.
Oh my gosh.
Now this is also a split. I'm imagining toe wrestling with two beautifully manicured feet, and I may or may not be getting a little excited about it. However, I know that now that my phone is listening to this conversation, when I open up my algorithm next time, it's not going to be that. It's going to be two hairy, burly Russian male feet, and they're going to be like chalked up or something weird, and they're going to be intertwined and going at it. That's probably what we're going to be talking about, right?
Exactly. Yeah, my algorithm it sends me like weird sports. So
Yeah,
like tire wrestling, car
right.
jujitsu.
And y'all can check out old episodes. We talk about this at length.
Yeah. And yeah, this popped up, toe wrestling, and it's two fully grown middle-aged men.
Hmm.
One is very bald, one is very hairy,
Hmm.
and they're okay. I want you to take a guess how the toe wrestling works.
Um. Okay. If it's anything like arm wrestling, they each have their own like. There's like a contraption that the ankle like sits on, right?
Yeah.
And
I don't know if there's a
like
contraption,
arm,
but they are like
they're like there's like
they're
a table,
yeah, they're lined up like arm wrestling.
right? And there's lines, right? There are lines, and there is a like a board or something, right? And like arm wrestling, they are they are conjoined like before the actual match starts. And I'm doing this because I imagine their big toes are just like interlocked. And then
Okay,
there's a
yeah.
ref, and then they blow the whistle, and then I don't know how it works beyond that, but that's what I imagine it.
So you're pretty much right. It's two guys are lined up and they
I hate this.
they have to get it they have to get their toes laced. So like
All five of them?
all the toes, they're laced together. It's like you're clasping hands. Like it's like a mercy grip but for your feet. You know what I mean?
I don't like this.
And
Is it your left and their left, or is it right and left?
yeah, how would you decide? And it seems like you would get an advantage if your toe is on the outside, right? Your big
Yeah.
toes on the outside. Maybe they have
Hmm.
maybe have like left toe, and maybe they do different rounds or something where they change both. I don't know. Anyway, they
I thought you'd be the expert.
No, I only watched one short clip of it. But these guys
Uh-huh.
are very serious about it, and they lace the toes together, and they're lined up face to like head on, toe on, and they're going toe to toe, so to speak. And
Thank you. Thank you.
they're really trying to toe the line here. But they got them laced up, and then like arm wrestling, you got to pull them to the left or to the right, whichever way your foot naturally goes.
Okay.
And then the winner is whoever touches their side
Mhm.
first. But then it shows it, and like their toes are interlaced, and if they're moving badly, like one guy's toe just like completely turned sideways. It's like
Oh,
you're if you lose, you're guaranteed like
you're
dislocated
snap.
toes and snapping
You're
toes.
snapping a digit. Yeah.
Yeah.
I would imagine ballerinas would be very good at this game
Oh man. Yeah, they would have
because
some.
they probably have like gnarly feet.
Oh
You
yeah, for
know,
sure.
ballerinas.
Yeah, they're in those little tiny slippers, but then they take them off and they look brutal. That Black Swan movie, remember that?
I do remember that.
And the toenails coming off. Ooh.
Ouch. Yeah. Okay. Well, I don't like that sport.
Yeah.
I should like that sport, but I don't like that sport.
If you got any weird sport recommendations, send them in
Mhm.
the chat.
Did we talk about Hummus Cannon Man last time?
Hummus Can Man.
Hummus Cannon Man. Did we talk about this guy last time?
Oh yeah.
Like briefly. Anyway, so I was thinking about him again for some reason. This is another topic that just keeps revolving in my brain. And because I saw another clip of his and he was like eating, I think I sent it to you. He was like eating what looked like a very beautiful lunch, a salad and like, a steak or something like that. But he had a glass of his own urine that he was drinking too. And he's one of these
Yep.
people that drinks his own urine. And I was thinking like, it made me think of COVID, right? And this isn't, I'm not making a statement here or anything like that, but take COVID, for instance, when people were surprised when like it broke a lot of people's brains about, there was just a lot of issues that people were surprised by, right? On one side or the other. And, or just take any topic, for instance, that we could argue about anything that's like, it should be seemingly unanimous, right? Certain things should just be like a no-brainer. Yeah, this is like what we should do. This is, you know what I mean? And then I was thinking, okay, well, how can we be surprised by anything, by any person's opinions or beliefs on something, when there are people that drink their own urine and think that that's good for them? How can we then be surprised when somebody doesn't then go with the mainstream of like an obvious like, yeah, you shouldn't smoke cigarettes, and then there's people that are just like, okay, I'm gonna do it though,
Right.
or no, these aren't bad for me. It's like, how can we be surprised by those people when there are people out there that literally pee into a glass and then they're like, no, this is good for me. My body got rid of this. I'm gonna put it right back in. How can we? I don't. We
Yeah.
shouldn't be surprised by anything or angry about that. If for any reason, it's like it shouldn't anger us. It'd be like, oh yeah, these people. You know,
If that I'm blanking on his name. There's that have you seen that anti-aging guy who's like spending millions of dollars on
Brian Johnson.
Brian Johnson. If
I
he's
got some videos of his lately.
if he's not drinking his own piss, that's all you got to know.
Good point. Good point.
That's all you got to know on that topic. But
That
yeah,
that's a really good point.
I bet the hummus cannon guy, he looks pretty healthy, right?
I think though that yes, but I think that when he does his Instagram videos, he definitely has a filter on his face
Oh, okay. To
to make
show,
him look a little
yeah,
younger.
make him look
You know.
younger.
I
Yeah.
also think that he's full of shit. I think he's playing a part. I really do. I really think he's playing a part.
Like he's making a character of it.
I think so. I want to think that, And I guess maybe that's a cope for me. I don't want to believe that someone is this just out out there with their like health beliefs, wellness beliefs. I don't know. And I this is someone that's gone to a like a psychic, you know what I mean? And has had their past traumas via my
Aura,
whatever, my
aura.
aura. Yeah, my aura read in, like, I don't know, talk to ghosts to talk about my previous traumas, past life traumas, and I am just like, I don't want to believe this. I don't want to believe this guy actually drinks his own urine, or like suns his asshole because he thinks that the vitamin D he's going to get from the sun through his rectum is like actually benefiting him. You know what I mean? Or people that don't wear sunblock because they think it's bad for them. It's like, holy shit, I don't know. But I shouldn't be surprised because these people are never going away.
Yeah, and the problem with like I realize with the really obscure or small details in people's health regimens is usually if you're concerned about your health and you're putting the attention to detail on like one small thing, like this guy, oh, I started drinking my own urine and I really noticed a improvement in my health. The thing I realized is like they are also doing a lot of other things regarding their health. They're exercising. They're probably not eating a lot of junk food. They're I don't
Besides urine.
but besides urine, yeah, that's pretty junky. Um, yeah, that's not great. But it's like if they get any kind of health benefits or they feel like they're healthier, they're going to attribute it to this small detail that they're focusing on at that moment and not all the standard health things that they are doing. So if you really want to test if drinking your own urine is good for you, is you gotta just drink your urine.
Yeah. Cut out water.
Yeah.
Cut out um sleep a little less, you know? Maybe eat a few more refined sugars, and then see if drinking your own urine makes up for that.
And like, yeah.
That's what I would think the litmus test would be.
I think these people, they
These
realize
people.
they have this idea of like I'm incredibly healthy and this is
Mhm.
coming out of my body, so therefore it must be healthy. You know what I mean?
Right. Hmm.
Uh, okay. I thought you were telling me something. Uh, but yeah, it's like that sort of same thing happens with saunas and
Right.
cold plunges. I
Well,
think that
there's like there's been like videos and other things out recently that say that cold plunge is absolute horseshit.
I mean that's been a long time of like is cold stuff good for you? Does it
Yeah.
help you recover faster or slower?
Hmm.
And yeah,
Apparently, it's bullshit.
I mean ultimately everyone is going to believe what makes them feel good and
Right.
what they think is for themselves, but
Hmm.
is good for themselves. But I just think a lot of people who are putting this kind of attention to detail into one aspect of their health are going to attribute all of their improvements to that one thing and not the consistent things that they have been doing leading up to that. But
One thing that I have been indulging in, speaking of drinking your own urine and liking it, one one thing that I've been indulging in that's probably not good for me is are these videos that I am seeing of these two brothers. Okay, so I'll start with this, with the topic of the tattoos, going under for your tattoos. Here it is. Hold on. So the I finally found on my YouTube algorithm a video of someone going under for one of these really expensive tattoos, and this person paid, I want to say they paid like 50K for a whole back piece, right? They live in Dubai, these two brothers. Well, only one of the brothers was getting this back piece done, but and his name is Samuel Anuha or something like that, and I think he's from like I think he's from I think he was born in Amsterdam, but he lives in Dubai. Anyways, um, he was getting this back piece done, flies from Dubai to LA to get this thing done, right? And they treat it just like a normal, like a routine procedure because he's that you have to be put under for. So he doesn't eat like all the whole night before, or something, doesn't drink any fluids or anything like that the night before. Gets put under for this thing, and he has like four different artists that work on this back piece, right? And so I mean, it turns out great. I mean, it, it looks
You're paying that
great.
money. If you're paying that money, it's
I mean, you're paying the cost for not really. I mean, obviously for the artist's time, but you're paying for the anesthesia. You're paying for like the nurses that take care of you after the fact. You're paying for being admitted basically to a outpatient sort of hospital kind of thing. And then of course on top of that, the artist their time drawing this piece and stuff like that. But yeah, 50 grand. You know, and so he inevitably, or of course, addressed the hate that he knew he was going to get with like, oh yeah, like I did. A lot of people say I didn't earn this tattoo because I didn't like go into the shop or whatever and stuff like that. And on the one hand, I agree with that. I agree with that purist, I guess, quote unquote, purist mentality of like putting in the time, making appointments, going in and like sitting there under the tattoo gun and getting this work done, right? And paying one artist because that's how they make their money, right? They are like they have clientele and they like work hard to get a book of clients, right? And that supports this artist, right? And so I get it on one half, and then on the other hand, I get just like, man, this is the world we live in. It's like people want it's like
yeah.
instant gratification. They
That's what I
want
was
to
to
wake
say.
up. They want to wake up and like, oh man, my whole arm is now sleeved, and it took I didn't even I I was asleep for the whole thing, right? And then in 3 weeks it's going to be completely healed, and then I can go on with my life. I don't have to get another tattoo, right? I get that. Like, trust me, if I could just blink and I would have all the tattoos that I have, half of me was like, yeah, that would be pretty sweet. But then the other half of me really likes because I'm going to get tattooed tomorrow. I am looking forward to going to like I'm going to Richmond. I'm looking forward to getting out of town, like going and like going to my normal haunts in Richmond, doing that whole thing, like going and getting tattooed, seeing my tattoo artist, talk with him the whole time, like getting the whole like, oh, he's gonna draw up something specifically for me, seeing what that looks like, going through the whole process of getting the tattoo, then like I don't know, treating myself to dinner and all that stuff, and then like the healing process, I kind of enjoy now taking care of the like I enjoy all of that stuff. Now that's me. I'm like not a millionaire, a multi-millionaire, or billionaire, or whatever these people are. Sorry, this is a long rant. But so that this led me then to the other half of this like hustler these YouTube hustlers, these guys selling this like alpha, quote unquote, alpha lifestyle and this time is money lifestyle and time is money mentality. And we can talk about that. But let's first, do you have anything to say about the going under for a tattoo?
Yeah, well, I
Because we talked
was.
about it before,
Yeah, we
but
talked about it before, but did he go first before he went under? Did he go from having zero tattoos, clean slate, to just full tats?
okay, so this is another thing he brought up. And I will give him credit for this because he did have one of his arms, his left arm, I believe, was completely done, and one of his legs was completely done. So I will give him credit that he did sit for those things.
Right.
Um, so yeah, I kind of give him a little bit of a break for getting his back done.
Yeah, so I think he's experienced it.
Yeah.
He knows what it's about.
Hmm.
and he to give him benefit of the doubt here, he had a clear image of what he wanted, and he could afford skipping to that
Yeah,
image while he's, in whatever shape he is now. I don't know if he's in good shape or not, but
he is, of course.
okay. So he's in
Yeah.
great shape. He's young. He didn't want to have this long, drawn out, like piece by piece by piece by piece over a course of what, a year or two. And
Yeah.
he had a clear image already of what he wanted, and he couldn't afford it. So I think there's nothing really wrong with it, unless, like you said, unless 99% of people who get tattoos are into the process of it. Like you said, going there, you're getting a more personal connection with the tattoo artist. You have a more, if you have a connection with the tattoo artist, then that would mean you're more connected to the tattoo, I guess. Is that how that works? But
I guess so. And I don't even think that number of like 90% of people that get tattoos like the process. I think that's probably a very niche. Uh, I think people that are heavily tattooed, like myself, enjoy the process, or we wouldn't get so many. You know what I mean? I think people that have like a few like cute, like Pinterest tattoos, they just like, I want a few and I want to just say I'm tattooed. You know what I mean? But like people that get like
right.
bold tattoos or like the realism portrait full tattoos, those people like, I don't know, I think the process or the at least the aesthetic of being heavily tattooed.
Is there ever any moment in your tattooing where you get a tattoo and you're like, okay, I like this tattoo, but I hate the way it looks right now because it's my arm's not
Oh
finished
yeah.
yet.
Oh
It's
yeah.
like, trust
Mhm.
me, this is gonna look good when it's done.
Yeah.
Well then, I think
Yeah.
that's the argument. That's a perfect argument to get it all done at once, because you don't want that in between stage of, like, in between haircut,
Sure.
growing out your hair awkwardness, where you're like, okay,
Mhm.
this is the piece I got. It looks horrible because it doesn't match this piece right now, but there's gonna be a connecting piece and it's gonna look sick, you know?
It's not that the piece itself looks horrible, it's that like the when you get for me when you get like a patchwork sleeve, when you get multiple pieces, and this is where the like instant gratification thinking comes in, where part of it is going through the whole process and taking the time to really curate something that is like a cohesive piece or a whole piece, and like being um not diligent, but being disciplined with like following up with future appointments to get the sleeve done, even if it's with different artists, like following up with getting the work done in a timely manner and like getting touch-ups done if you need touch-ups and all of that stuff. I think that like the instant gratification piece of it for me is like that's where I get when people get frustrated with people that do this. But you're right. If you got the coin to do it, it's kind of a hard argument to say. Now, again, granted, most of the people that I see getting these like quick full body major tattoos done, they're all the same style of tattoo. A
Oh,
100%, like most, I would say 90% of them that I see, they're all black and gray realism, and they're all the like just the like alpha bro tattoos. It's like, the Greek statues, the Greek gods. It's the lion head, it's the clock, it's the portraits, it's the like eagle. It's all the same shit that these people are getting, which tells me that they just want the aesthetic of being heavily tattooed. They don't care about they just want that look. You know what I mean?
right. So
Yeah.
not only are they, because my whole argument is that they have an idea of what they want and they have it all
It's
thought out,
it's
but if it's not,
it's n- c- it's not individual or well thought out in my opinion at all.
yeah,
It's literally copy and pasted from somebody else. You know what I mean?
right. Then yeah,
It's like clothes. It's like it's like when people have the money buy um buy a wardrobe that they see an actor has or a musician that
Or
they really like.
I was thinking of like it's like a patchwork quilt that is
Hmm.
supposed to have a lot of sentimental meaning that's made
Right.
by I guess like similarly like one person can make a patchwork quilt or many people can contribute it to it, but the idea is that it has all these different stories and personal touches
Yeah.
to it. It's like having that made all at once in a factory
Hmm.
versus hand sewn individually piece by piece over a long period of time. But
Yeah. And I tell always, because people ask me, what do your tattoos mean?
yeah.
And the tattoos themselves don't mean anything, but what is meaningful to me is the fact that like the artwork that I have is an expression of what I want to look like, what I see my ideal self looking like, and it is the fact that the time I took to curate the pieces themselves and the artists themselves. Like I took the time to find good artists, that like credible artists, and the fact that I like spent the money and took the time to go do the thing, and then also the interactions that I have with these tattoo artists. Those will be like, you can't take, like, that's very meaningful to me. Like the conversations that I've had with the tattoo artist over these, tattoos or whatever, like that means a lot to me. Now the pieces that like the rose on my knee means nothing, like it doesn't mean anything, but it's still meaningful to me when I look at it. I have the like, oh yeah, like the conversation I had or where I was in life, like that shit. I can recall something from it, but I don't know.
well,
It all to somebody looks stupid to them, whatever.
yeah, and I'm guessing like also you whenever you're going to your appointment for the for the tattoo, you had maybe an idea of what you wanted, and sometimes you had no idea what you wanted, but then
Most of the time.
but then also through the process of being there, you're talking and he's getting your input. It's like, okay, what do you think about this? Do you want me to do more of this shading or blah blah blah? Like
Hmm.
it's probably it the tattoo changed from the moment you sat in the table to whenever you got up, like what was going to go on your arm or leg or whatever.
Yeah, and sometimes not. Sometimes like the fact that I just put complete trust in the artist, like
Yeah.
okay, I know this. I trust you completely, and then when they come to me with a thing, I'm like, most of the time I'm like, fuck yeah, that's even better than what I thought I wanted.
Yeah, so I think from a practical standpoint, it's not smart to do what they're doing, but
Yeah.
I don't really care, and I'm sure that he doesn't care. People who are doing this kind of thing don't care about the like cred,
Right.
and I don't think they should. I think that's like
Yeah. No, I agree.
I think people judging based on like, oh, you don't you like that comment like you didn't earn the tattoos.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That doesn't make any sense at all.
Yeah, because ultimately, like, if I saw, because it's good work. That's ultimately to me the number one thing. Like, if he was paying like 50 grand and it looked like shit, then I would be like, you're an idiot. But like, and he does. He admits like he was showing off his like tattoos on his left arm, and a lot of those. And this is where the instant gratification thing comes in, because he wanted a specific look, so he was in a hurry to do so, and he got a lot of shitty looking tattoos on his arm, and his arm is completely covered. And the funny thing is like a lot of my tattoo artists, they all like say the same thing about their tattoos. They're like, "Oh, I'm covered in horrible stuff, but I wanted to look a certain way, so I just like got a bunch of tattoos really quickly." You know,
Hmm.
kind of the same thing. Anyways, yeah, so it's like, the whole like they want to look like this. I understand it. They don't want to pay a lot. They don't have a lot of money to pay for them, so they just get a bunch of shitty looking tattoos. That sucks. Um, but yeah, I mean, I don't know. If I had the money, it would be very tempting to do it too.
Yeah. The
Yeah.
final analogy that can come up with is a really wealthy person who has a wing in their mansion, and they want to turn it into an art gallery.
Mm-hmm.
So they don't know anything about art, but they want to have a nice place that people can walk and look and admire the art in their house in this empty space that they don't have nothing to do with it. So they hire a curator or multiple ones, and they say, "Here's all the money, have at it. Pick whatever art that you think will look good in this gallery, and then I'm going to go away for a week. When I come back, I want this place covered with awesome art."
Mm-hmm.
You're not going to say that that person didn't earn the art that was placed in his gallery. He's got all that money, he's paying for it. He paid the artists, he paid the curators to
Yeah.
pay the artists, whatever. It's like that's kind of the same thing, I feel like. The only difference is it's on your body.
Right. And they are supporting the art too. So
Yeah, that's the other thing. They're paying these artists, and the artists are probably, I bet any tattoo artist would be like, sure, I'll take that huge amount of money to sit in
absolutely,
a chair for.
and do it. Secure the
Yeah.
bag. Yeah. Anyways, just and then the other side of that, this. So another thing he was talking about was like my time is valuable because he's some multimillionaire. I don't know. I really didn't dig into like what he does on how he's presenting this like extravagant lifestyle. So I went down a YouTube rabbit hole of this guy, and it's like they're always vacationing, right? They're always staying in insane places. They're going on these incredible shopping trips or whatever, right? So they're presenting this life, this like hustler mentality, like time is money life, right? Where they're like, oh guys, I'm clearing $50,000 a day, making deals, and it's like it's so vague, right? They're making deals, they're like they're just the profit they're turning over the units, the deals. They keep talking about the deals that we're making, right? And that was so when he got this tattoo, he was like saying like my time is too valuable, right? I want to just like in 8 hours I want a full back piece, right? And so that was like a reoccurring thing is like because all the shit that they have is like to promote this insane lifestyle. And then I have to imagine somewhere along the way, part of like their wealth is like selling these like ridiculous cons, like these like lifestyle courses or like business courses or something like that, where they're just like selling a snake oil essentially, right? And so part of the whole facade is that my time is too valuable. This is why I fly. This is why I fly private. I can't. I. It's too expensive. I'm losing money if I don't fly private, right? I'm losing money if I don't have a private chef. I'm losing money if I waste time on all of these things, and it's utterly bullshit on one hand, but it's also super fascinating to me that to think about all of the people, young men in particular, that are watching this and like, I have to do that. That's what I have to. That's the bar. And I'm like, when I think about it that way, I'm like, man, this is fucked. This is so beyond fucked. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's never been easier to fake the image of success. Like, eh,
Or
and
to
it,
create a fake image of
right,
success,
right.
or just like because I'm successful to some people, right? You know what I mean? Like I consider myself rich. I'm not wealthy, but I'm like I have a home. Here's me practicing gratitude, okay? It's not easy. Something I was thinking about today because life doesn't always rule. Sometimes life stinks, but practice gratitude and you can get yourself out of that. Anyways, I have a beautiful apartment. I, have money to do the things that I want to do in life, and I think that that is would be considered successful, right? But like a lot of these like male influencers sell their brand of success, and anything other than that is not successful. So young men that look up to that and they think I'm not doing that, I stink, and that's just like kind of heartbreaking for me, and also completely fascinating if I'm being honest.
Well, yeah, like if you're not buying a certain product that this person you look up to is buying, then you got trash. You got
Yeah.
nothing.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
You're
like
a loser.
the whole but like the ability to fake it is
Oh yeah.
what I'm saying is like you can rent a private jet like studio.
Right.
It looks like you're in a private jet and you're not.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And you can rent an expensive car for an hour, a
Right.
luxury car. You can go to an Airbnb mansion and drop, $2,000 on one night and then film a whole bunch of videos for that day and then
Right.
make it look like you've been living there for months.
Mm-hmm.
And you can do all these things to make it look like you're way more successful than you are when you're actually in crazy amounts of debt. There was I don't go too much into the digging, but I did see there was some guy who had gotten out of jail and then he built this whole like alpha image of himself, and then I think he got arrested again for like Bitcoin fraud or something, scamming. That's
Mm-hmm.
becoming a thing, is like scamming people out of these quick, easy to
The
get rich quick schemes and stuff. What were you about to say?
that like marine car salesman, he got
Oh, what happened to him?
sued. He got sued for fraud. He was selling these like these phony business courses where people were paying him like 20 grand just so they could sit a little closer in this like fake fucking seminar, right? And it's like, oh, for 20 grand, you sit a little closer. Maybe you're going to make eye contact with him. And then afterwards, you can shake his hand. And like, so it was just like, they're just like ripping people off for nothing, for no added benefit, for an already like bogus seminar on quote unquote, wealth creating or something like that,
That's like Frontier Airlines stuff.
Truly. Yeah, yeah. Oh, for another 10 grand, you can give him a hug. It's like for 10 grand, he should like literally be living with you, telling you how to make more money. I don't know.
Exactly.
Okay. Anyways, don't listen to these people, if you have young boys. It's and young women too. It's like I think I don't know. Maybe because it's in the female, like they've been digesting this sort of media, I think, for longer. Like, okay, I'm gonna make a blanket statement here, and I don't want people to come after me, but is
Racist.
it is it fair to say that more ladies watch reality television than men do? Is it safe to say?
Yeah, well, yeah.
It's been around for them. I will say that. It's been around for them longer than it has for men, I think. Like the Kardashians and all of that stuff, right? And I think that like that's been around, and I think for me anyways, a lot of women that watch that, they're just like it's just fun and I think it's ridiculous and whatever. Like they have a good for the most part, they have a good head on their shoulders when they digest that stuff. And I hope that young men in particular that are watching some of this like ridiculous Andrew Tate shit, I hope that they realize, oh no, it's just funny to hear him just say the most ridiculous stuff. And like, yeah, I like cars, so like him driving like a Bugatti is like cool. I think that's cool. I'll never own one. I think it's cool that he's just like driving one.
mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Yeah.
That's my hope.
Well, oh, you're just hoping that people are digesting this garbage with.
In the same way, with the
Yeah.
same lenses. I don't know.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's my hope.
Yeah, I don't know if more women are watching reality show, but there seems to be more reality shows out there that are for women. So I don't
For
know
sure.
whichever one correlates to the other, but
The same reason that there's a lot of like true crime shows and podcasts because they're the ones digesting it. Anyways, okay, one last one. Japanese cleaning. Do we have time for that?
I
Have
think
we
so.
been going?
I
All right,
think
let's do it.
We've been going for like, yeah, almost an hour here.
Cool.
Yeah, like that's one of the new satisfying things. I get into some satisfying algorithms. Like for a
Mhm.
while, I was on a horseshoe cleaning kick, where
Oh
they like
man.
have you, did you
Oh
get
yeah.
did you get into those?
Yeah, I got into that too.
Yeah, man. Okay. There's a funny one where someone's like going into some like Rocky Road ice cream, and then and he's like narrating it like, or he put the horseshoe cleaners video audio on top of it. Anyway, the newest one that I've gotten into are these Japanese apartment cleaning Instagrams,
hmm
where it's unbelievable how disgusting some of these apartments get.
Okay.
It's just like there's no floor. It's all
Oh.
garbage.
Oh
There
no. So they're like
speaks
cleaning hoarders' houses.
Yeah, but speaking of drinking your own urine, it's
Oh, there's like
jars of
jars of
yeah,
yeah.
plastic bottles of urine, cigarettes. The whole floor is cigarette butts.
Damn.
It's like I don't know how, like the person who used to live there must have died. Like
Yeah.
I don't know how they could have been living there. There's no bed. The mattress is
Oh,
on the floor and it's like underneath everything.
oh God.
But looking at the before, and like they time lapse the cleaning and they scrub
Right.
everything, and looking at the
Oh yeah.
before and after is, it's like another level of satisfaction there.
A little dopamine hit.
A little quick dopa.
A little quick doper. Yeah. Um. Yeah. I should
You want to get
maybe I
off
should
you want
just
to get off the call, is that what you're saying?
no, maybe I should trash my place and have one of these a couple of a couple of these influencers come and time lapse my apartment and
Yeah.
make it beautiful. Yeah.
Time lapse is always satisfying. Back to the instant gratification thing.
Absolutely. I had a couple more things, just
Yep.
two quick things. One,
What's this
I think
capital murder thing you're talking?
no, we're gonna I don't want to end on something heavy, because I'm in a good mood. The Fisherman, I think I recommended it last, or was talking about that. I was reading it last time. Um, The Fisherman by John Langan. Langan. I am currently reading this book. I don't know. Some people are interested, I think. Very slow. It reminds me, the writing style reminds me, and the pacing reminds me of Frankenstein by Mary Shelley.
Nice.
It's a bit of a slog at times, but it's like it's like eating it's like eating an ice cream like Americone Dream,
It's a good one.
where it's a very good one. It's one of my favorites. Um, uh, some people like, like a chubby hubby where there's like good stuff in there. Um, so you're like, it's a vanilla base, right? So it's, some of it's just like, okay, fine, vanilla. But then you hit a fucking chocolate dipped waffle cone bit. You know what I mean? Get out of town. So that's like this book, right?
There's a couple chocolate chip waffle
There's
cones in there.
and then you're just eating nothing but that, and you're like, oh yeah, this is really good. And then once you get indulged on it, then it goes back to, Vanilla Town, and it's like, okay, well, we got to get through this, okay? So I I was counting it out, and then it slaps you in the face with some good stuff, okay? So I'm gonna say it's a good one.
Sounds
And then
good.
another, because Ashley Hicks was shout out was asking me for other hardcore bands, and I was listening to one today at the gym. Johnny Booth. Check them out,
Johnny
people.
Booth. That's
Johnny
a band.
Booth.
That's a band name. Is Johnny Booth?
That's a band name. Johnny with an H, Booth, no E. Okay, two O's, no E. Check them out if you're into them. And then I got two recommendations for you for your cafe that aren't hardcore. Krongbin, and I'll text you the names. Krongbin
Oh, you told me about them.
and
Yeah, that's at like
and
yeah. Go
the
ahead.
Texas Trio. Yeah, yeah.
Oh.
And Tallest Man on Earth. I think
Oh yeah, I played a little bit of them in there. It's like Bob
yeah,
Dylan esque. Yeah.
exactly. Yeah, yeah. You should play them.
Yeah, I like them.
Yeah. Anyways, that's all I got. Um, anything else you want to say,
No, man.
friend?
I'm still working on the technical aspects of this. I don't know why it didn't stream to Instagram.
All good.
That's
Our
what
sponsors are paying us plenty, so it's not like we need the money. You know what I mean?
I'm gonna try and figure out what's going on there.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, good one.